Hi, this is Stephanie Miller from The Stephanie Miller Show. Please enjoy this exclusive clip from my show on Political Voices Network. Dreams can come true. We've been playing cowbell all week, and I've said I want to date and kiss and marry her. And what happens? Here she is, cowbell.
Yay!
Yay!
All right, so we have to set up this funny story. So because I'm 11 billion years old, Cal, my super hot bike boyfriend,
Well,
Adrian
I'm
Pitts.
10 billion then.
Oh, no.
From Major Taylor Bike Club that I ride with here in LA. He called me yesterday and he said, "You've been playing cowbell all week. That's the girl I told you about when we were at lunch." And I was like, oh. And so I had totally forgotten that my friend, and by the way, we're going to throw down because you said that he's not hot. He is. I will fight you to the death, lady.
Listen, I don't know. I think you might need to check your glasses prescription if you
Come
think
on.
he's hot. But
Dimples, you could.
He aight.
Dimples, you could do the backstroke in. I rest my case. But so, Cal, you are originally
He's my brother, so I can't. It's gross for me.
It's incest. No, he's the greatest. But anyway, you've just sort of lit the internet on fire. You did this TikTok rant, and so we were playing pieces of it, of course, with a lot of bleeps because you're a potty mouth like me.
Yes.
But and we just found out married to a preacher, which I love that story so much. So you kiss a preacher with that mouth is what you're.
I do. I tell you, I'm trying to get into heaven on this +1. So it is what it is. Hope it works out.
And there's quite a red rope and a bouncer up there, I'm told. So good for planning ahead. So anyway, this was just and I have to say, everybody on our social medias are like, "Oh my God, who is this? Can you send me a link? And you just said you're somebody just decided to get mouthy on TikTok."
Yeah.
But you said you've always been political. You said.
Yes. I'm just a person who has always been interested in the people who write the laws that rule our lives. I was raised obviously by my mother, but my grandmother also had a hand in raising me, and she was 75 years old when I got here. So she used to watch the news all the time. And so as a little kid, I would be invested. My grandmother would have C-SPAN on, and I'm looking like, who are these people and what are they talking about? And that I was raised in the Reagan era, and I hated him. So that's what got me interested in politics. And I'm not like a political junkie per se,
right,
but I am very invested and very interested in the people who my taxes pay your salary, your health care, and your pension. So I need to have a vested interest in the things you are doing that affect my life in a very real way. And so, after 2010, when everything went to holy heck with people not showing up for the midterms to give Obama what he needed to get things done in office, that's when I started getting a little more mouthy on the internet and started, it started off with Facebook diatribes, but, America doesn't like to read anymore. Right. So that's how I ended up on TikTok.
But it really is where you reach people today. Like, what do they always say in politics? We got to, go to find people where they are. And so do you watch home improvement shows? This was just such a brilliant premise that you did. That you said this is like the home improvement show where they give you a mallet and you can just smash away. But you said those people, they have a contractor they trust. There's a blueprint. There's a plan. And you sort of you talk about how you got that idea about these people. Because you see the same news stories we do in polls. And, black people aren't going to vote for Biden. Oh, young people aren't going to vote for Biden now. Oh, these people are going to vote third party this time, blah, blah, blah. And, it's like you see this Trump disaster coming. And that's what inspired this, I assume.
Yeah, that, and it's not just the Trump disaster, it's just like the impending GOP disaster that's been happening since 2010, right? I've just been clocking it. And my husband and I talk about it a lot about, how do we reach people? How do we let people know that you are working against your own self-interest? How do you let someone know that, yes, this feels right, but it's going to be wrong in the long run? And, you would think after everything that we've gone through between 2017 and 2021 with, when Donald Trump fired the pandemic response team in 2018. Nobody knew COVID was coming, but the people who were before him knew it was coming, which is why they presented a pandemic response team and created that team. So, this person who ended up in the highest office of our nation had no foresight, had no ability, was completely incompetent. And that worries me because at the end of the day, we do have something to stand in between us and calamity, and it's our vote, but we do not utilize it. When I realized that only 49% of Americans actually participate in the midterms, I was like, what the heck? Like, what are we doing, people? Yeah. What are we doing? And I really think that we need to reshape our relationship with politics, but also how we view it in our perspective. These people are our employees. Yeah. Our taxes pay their salary, pay their health care. While they're sitting up there voting for us not to have health care, we are paying for their health care. Yeah. And they also get a pension if they keep the job after 5 years. And so a lot of them get into politics, ride it out for 2 cycles, and then they're set for life living off my dime. And so I'm like, absolutely not. And I think more people need to be aware of that.
And now Trump is running on this, first of all, it's just his insane racist Obama derangement syndrome that he's going to get rid of Obamacare this time for sure.
Yes.
When he comes back. And by the way, that hooker pee story is true because he hates the Obamas and he paid hookers to pee in the bed that they slept in. But anyway, that's not important now.
Can I tell you a secret?
Yes. Sure.
I went to high school with Stormy Daniels.
Oh! This just got more interesting.
This just gets better and better. What was that like?
So here's the thing. I found this out long time ago, like when he first became president. I was talking to some of my friends and they were like, you don't remember her? I was like, no, I don't. They were like, Kelly, she was in 4-H with us. I was like, what? I don't remember her by face, and she looks a lot different now. I will say that. We've all changed. But from what my friends told me, she was always a nice girl. She was cool. But when I was made aware of her, it was because she was winning all the porn awards and everything. I was like, well, go, Stormy, go. Well, her real name's Stephanie. I was like, go, Stephanie, go. Eagles fly high wherever they are. So that's what it was. Like, we just...
Or spread eagles in this case.
Oh, my
That too. Listen. It works. We went to a great magnet school. Okay?
I know. We need to get together and drink and swear all day. You and I.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Okay. I'm 100% okay with that.
All dirty jokes. Okay. Wow, that is something. But I this is what I mean about, someone was commenting, I don't know if you have thoughts on Blacks for Trump, but
you mean the one guy?
Just the one guy.
Gosh. Like,
but I mean, this is the most
identifying as a Blacks is just you're done. You're done. No
yeah, thanks. I mean, this is the most racist person. I mean, since forever. I used to live in New York. I mean, it's just.
But you know why? Like, so there are people who are endeared to Donald Trump because of what he represented, especially like with rappers always putting dropping his name in songs because everyone in America was fooled by the smoke and mirrors. His name is everywhere. He's putting it on buildings everywhere. So people thought, okay, yeah, that's success. No, it's a licensing deal with his name. Like, he's a grifter. Calm down.
It's a lifetime of fraud is what it is. But
that's exactly what it is. Yeah. So, I'm not one of those people who look to rappers for my life advice. So, I know there are people out there who do that. I don't suggest it, but it is what it is.
Yeah. But I mean, your whole rant was really about like these third-party candidates, which when we're on the precipice of losing our democracy and facing full-on fascism and someone quoting Hitler speeches, and you're talking about, I don't know, maybe JFK Jr., maybe Jill Stein,
And it's so wild to me because, at the end of the day, like I said in the TikTok, it's just math. Like, we can have all the feelings. And let me say this as a disclaimer. As an American, I believe that people should have the freedom to vote for whomever you want.
Right.
At the same time, when the threat of you not being able to vote ever again is knocking on the door, you have to strategize and you have to be smart and you have to put feelings to the side. You have to put all of that nonsense away and be practical and be smart and go, okay, it's a math game at the end of the day. It's numbers. And the Green Party and all these third parties, the Unicorn Party, the Birthday Party, all this nonsense, they're not even eligible in every state. So how can you win the required amount of votes if you are not on the ballot in every state? And
chaos.
The Green Party, they're grifters. Like, you know, I'm sorry that, you know, Cornel West threw his lot in with them at one point and now he's out again. And it's just like, sir, what are you doing? Because you used to be respected in our community, and now you're out here doing the same thing that these other grifters are doing, just trying to use politics to get money.
Yeah.
And we don't need people who want money from politics. We need people who have good sense, who have empathy, and who want to do for the people of this country.
Yeah.
Put things into the legislation of this country that are going to help people,
That's
not
right.
hurt people.
I think what you're saying is
now we have to, you know, stop with the party nonsense and go, what is best for everyone?
Yeah.
It's a numbers game. Go with the higher number.
We need to be the your feelings party. We need to be like, care, I know you have.
Absolutely.
But it's whether
I'm down with it.
Yeah, it's whether people are going to lose their minds. Like, you know, we're all this talk about, all these Muslims are saying they'll never vote for Joe Biden now because of the Middle East. I'm like, you're going to vote for the Muslim ban guy?
Yeah.
The
that
Islamophobia
and, you know,
guy?
That's the insanity, right? Like, because we've all become these people who work in a binary, and it's like you have to get out of the binary. It's not either or, it's what is best for all of us. That's what you have to look at. And at the end of the day, and my heart goes out to all of the people who have family over in Palestine and family over in Israel, and everything that happened. Everything that's going on over there is terrible. I don't want to sound like I'm diminishing it, but we have been talking about peace in the Middle East since I was a toddler.
Yep.
You know, so this has been going on for decades. And therefore, to become a one-issue voter around it now, just because you're aware of it, just because you see it, that's not the most intelligent way to spend your vote. Yeah. I'm not saying that you're wrong, and I'm not saying that your feelings about it are wrong. What I'm saying is your feelings are blocking you from understanding the real issue and how to really help the people you want to help.
Yeah.
You're not going to be able to help them and not, again, it's not just Donald Trump, it's the entire GOP, because they have all moved further to him than the, you know, Republicans of old.
Yeah.
When he first took office, I ignorantly thought that he was just going to be a puppet for the GOP. I did not think that the GOP was going to bend over and allow him to run ramshod over our entire government. Right. Yeah. And that's what he did. In 4 years, he has taken away all of the stopgaps that we had against fascism, against authoritarianism, and now it's a free-for-all. Yeah. So we can't trust any of these people who, you know, support him who go to Mar-a-Lago and kiss his ring and all that thing. Like, it's a mess.
And it's
now.
not hyperbole.
We have to be smart.
It's not hyperbole at this point saying we are choosing literally between the end of our democracy and fascism. You know,
that's
this
exactly
is what,
right.
Yeah, and this is why your kind of voice is so needed. Like, Carlos Alzhirabi is our other, you know, is our brilliant comedian, Wednesday regular, and he talks about, like, sit down in the lifeboat. Same way you're talking about these third party voters. Sit down in the lifeboat. You're going to kill us all.
Right.
You know,
that's right.
Know, our friends Frangela talk about, you know, I'm going to black mama for dinner this. Biden, it's what's for dinner. I think, and, you know, you might want a Happy Meal. You're getting Biden. It's what's
right.
We
got Biden at home, baby. We don't have McDonald's money right now. We don't have third party money. We have McDonald's. No, that's for when democracy is safe and secure off of the edge of the cliff. Then you can vote for whomever you want in the Unicorn Party and all these things.
Right.
But until we get to a point where we are stabilized, we have to use our vote smart. Right. We have to be intelligent about it. Yeah. And feelings, you know, feelings are not real. Right. Feelings are not fact. You know, they're valid. And so I take that back. Feelings are real and feelings are valid, but they are not fact.
Yeah.
And when you operate in fact and when you operate in numbers, your only choice, unfortunately, nobody likes it. Nobody likes it.
Yeah.
But your only choice is to vote for the big D Democrats right now until we get our freedoms and our Constitution protected again so that you can exercise your freedoms in 2028 and beyond.
Well, you know, when we played your bit about, this is just people voting third party, it's just like, ooh, chaos is fun and, tearing stuff down and chaos, outsiders, and it's like a Gallagher concert, But you go, what's your plan for after you smash the watermelon into a million pieces?
Right. When you're sitting on the front row covered in watermelon, what are you going to do then? When the GOP is shipping you off back to whatever Muslim country they thought you came from, What are you going to do when, and this is a very real fear of mine, and I hate to talk about it a lot because, people are like, that's fear-mongering. But to me, there's a difference between fear-mongering and being real. And everybody should know by now that slavery is still legal in our country's Constitution. The 13th Amendment says you can put someone into slavery if they commit a crime. Well, the Speaker of the House right now, Mike Johnson, used to be a spokesperson for a organization that wanted to criminalize being LGBTQIA in this country. You know how it's illegal in some countries to be part of the LGBTQIA community. Mike Johnson was part of an organization that wanted to criminalize that here. So just think about that for a second. If they bring a bill to the floor that under all this book banning and save our kids nonsense that they're screaming right now, they bring a bill to the floor that criminalizes the LGBTQIA community, who can you now arrest and put into slavery and make work for free for this country? The entire LGBTQIA community. Listen, and those who support them.
The only silver lining I have is if they put the lesbians next to the funny black ladies, then
they're fine. We'll figure out how to break out efficiently.
We'll make each other laugh.
Then we'll figure out how to take over, and then there will be no more XYs on this planet.
Before you go,
because if we have to go through all of that, we're not letting another one have their way ever again.
Before you go, does your hatred of all things pumpkin spice, is it connected to Trump and all things orange, or is it?
It started before Trump, but it got way more intense. It got way more intense when he took office. Like, get it out of here.
We have linked to everything Kel Bell, because I know you want to know more about her on TikTok, Bell Curve. I love the website voteho.org, but it's spelled HEAUX because you're
Louisiana, baby.
From Louisiana.
Exactly.
Southern Belle. All right. Please come.
I am a Southern Belle.
Yeah.
Please come back. Adrian is hot. Let's just, let's just agree.
I'll let you have that one today. Oh, and I did want to say my YouTube is also Bell Curve. So if you want to see me on YouTube, I have something I'm cooking up, hopefully, again, to help everyone change their perspective on our legislative process. So go to my YouTube. It's Bell Curve. Bell spelled like Southern Belle, Curve with a K.
Mm-hmm. All right. Keep speaking out and please come back and see us again.
And we've linked to all of that on our socials as well.
Yeah, exactly. So nice to meet you finally.
Yay. So nice to meet you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Everybody vote.
Yes.
Vote. There she goes. Kel Bell. Yay.
Yay. Thanks.